Hi, this is Ed from Exotic Blanks. Tonight what we're going to do is show how to round out a blank, a plastic blank. I got a note today from a customer who said that they were having tremendous problems with this, and so I thought it would be worthwhile to put together a quick video that shows how you can take a blank and round it if you're planning on putting it into your scroll chuck so that you can drill it on the lathe. So give me a few minutes and let's take a look at how you can round a blank. I'll use several different tools and generally just give you some tips on how to make it as likely as possible that you'll get a pen out of it. First thing is I like to use speed as high as you're comfortable with. Now I've been turning for a long time. I'm very comfortable with it running at 3200 RPM, but if you're not, don't feel compelled to get to 3000. At least around 2500 RPM so that you've got the thing spinning past you. And okay, the first tool I'm going to use is standard roughing gouge. This particular one is Benjamin's Best, a very inexpensive tool, but it works fine. The other thing you need to be aware of when you're trying to put a blank in, a plastic blank in, if you put too much pressure on these two ends, all you're going to succeed in doing is cracking the end of the blank. Another thing that you should take into consideration is what is the ambient temperature. Plastic, when it's cold, will give you more trouble than plastic when it's warm. Now in here right now it's 55 degrees. That is about as low as you want it to get. I'm not particularly worried about it, but if I were a newer turner, I would raise the temperature in here a good 10 degrees so it was 65 or 70 and my chances of success would go up. As you can see, it's turning real slow and soon it will be turning real fast. My tool rest is too high, so you want to take it down so that your tool is hitting it just about the center, just like that. Again, remember that the more we tighten this, the more likely we are to crack that end. And right now I'm getting to where the vanes on the drive spur are going to make their cut into it. So I'm likely to have some problems there, but I'll fix them as I go along. Person that was having problems particularly screwed up the ends of the blank, which is the reason that I'm starting at the end. And as you can see, when I use a roughing gouge, I essentially am using one flute and this is what it looks like. It is not chipped up. If you see that you're chipping up the blank, then your technique needs some refinement. But that's what I can do with a roughing gouge. I'll do a little bit more with that just in case that's the tool you're using. It keeps stopping because I do not actually have these fins into the blank yet. So as now the thing to do here is, again, don't try to take that whole depth at one time. Take quick passes. Again, let's take a look at it, and as you can see over here, there's some little chips out. That's fine. Give me just a second and I'll let you see it better. Well, we'll do a little there you go. Now you can see that that's chipped out a bit. Doesn't matter if it's chipped out a bit because of course this is just getting it ready rounded. So if there's little chips in it, I really don't care. Another tool I often hear people talk about for starting turning, which is kind of tough, is a 3/8 inch gouge. So I'm going to take a 3/8 inch gouge and show you how to turn a little bit with that. I don't recommend this. This is a very fine tool, and for plastics it can be rather daunting. Let's back off a bit here. Okay, now I would use the side of this tool. If you go in like this, you can do it, but moving that tool is difficult and requires some real control. Instead, if you're trying to move a smaller tool, use the side of it. That was the label flying off. Don't be concerned. Again, you can see that there's pretty good. There's no real dents in it. There's no real chip out in it, except one spot where I hit. But it doesn't really matter. All you're trying to do is get it down to a round. My personal favorite tool is a skew. Once you've gotten the blank so it's round, again, as you can see, there are really no chips or anything taken out of it. So at this point I could just square it off so that it would go into a chuck, and that's what I'll do. I'm a little low here. I really should raise this up just a shade. I'm cutting a little below center, which is not where you should be. You should be just about at center. And at that point, you could put it into a scroll chuck and drill it, or do whatever you wanted to do. I would cut it in half first if I was trying to make a pen out of it, so that you're drilling a smaller, shorter, and less likelihood of your drill bit going awry. But that's all there is to it. It is not difficult, but do remember that you need to spend some time developing some tool control.